Hi everyone, thank you for coming by. In this week's video, I want to show you a get ready with me I did with different products. Most of it is new to me makeup that I've been waiting and putting aside to show you for the first time. So if you're interested to see how I got this look, then stay watching. So let's start. The first thing I want to put on is the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer Oil-Free Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 15. I haven't tried this product yet, and I think the bottle is like so pretty. I'm gonna put, there you go, 1, 2, very milky. I've never seen a product like that. It looks a little bit like watery whiteout. So I'm gonna put it all over my face. There's no, it's a slight fragrance, but it's like very fresh, but very subtle. It's already dissipated. It does leave my skin really smooth, really soft. It reminds me a little bit to the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen, but without that silicone texture. But it has the same really soft effect on the skin. I'm going to get a little bit more just for my forehead because I don't think I put enough there. 1 pump. Of course, this doesn't replace my sunscreen because I would need to apply so much to be able to get a good coverage. So I'm only putting a little bit. It feels very nice. So now what I'm going to go in second step is the foundation. And I'm going to use the Hourglass Vanish foundation stick. I picked up the shade Blanc, which I think it might be a little bit too light for me. But again, it's okay because I'm going to apply bronzer and other things on top. So it's no problem. This is what it looks like. In the past, I haven't been like a huge fan of foundation sticks because they will feel a little bit drying on me, but let's see, maybe with a primer it will be okay. So I'm just gonna apply it first on one half of my face and apply the other half off camera, but to be able to do a comparison between both sides. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna, I guess, swipe it like that all over the face. I think another way would be like getting foundation and the brush and directly swiping it, but I'm not gonna do it this time. I'm gonna pick up my BK Beauty 101 brush. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit too light for me. Very dry, very light for me, but we'll work it out. We'll make it work. Well, it's not drying. It's not drying. That's for sure. That's good. Putting aside the fact that it's not my shade, it does feel really nice. It's not drying. It's not creasing into my pores or my fine lines. But again, I did apply primer. So here it is on one half and here it is without it. So it does have coverage. I would say it's a light, maybe medium coverage. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with concealer. I'm gonna stick with Hourglass for now. It is the Vanish Concealer in the shade Cotton, which is closer to my skin tone, so it's gonna be a different color than my foundation, but like I said, let's work with it and see what happens, where it takes us. So I'm gonna apply some here. Yeah, it's pretty yellow. Sometimes it happens when you purchase makeup online, but it's alright. I'm gonna pick up my concealer brush from the BK Beauty A506 because here we're testing not just the shade but also if the formula works well, if it doesn't crease, if the makeup is good at the end of the day after many hours of wear. All those things are important. The shade, if you're one shade off, you could always fix it. It's better to have one shade lighter so you could always, you know, darken it up. When you have a shade a lot darker, it's harder to bring it down, but one shade is not going to be a big difference. Like a difference of one shade is not gonna make a huge difference. Okay, it's not entirely bad, but I feel like really close to the waterline. It's a little bit more wrinkly. It makes it look more wrinkly than what it is. And it's just on one side because on this eye it looks okay, but then this one it's like a little bit wrinkly here on the waterline. It could be just me that I'm getting older and not necessarily the concealer. At least it's not sipping into my fine lines. Okay, but it does a nice job of covering my dark circles, I think. So now I'm gonna go into powder, and I'm gonna use today the Laura Mercier translucent. It's called the Translucent Setting Powder in Celestial Light. And for this, I'm gonna be using my Rephr brush number 30. Yeah, number 30. And I'm just gonna get a little bit here with a brush and just swipe it just softly, because I am wearing the Vanish foundation and concealer are a little bit on the drier side, but I still want to apply just a little bit of powder to make sure it doesn't move. I don't think it will, but you know, just to be on the safe side, and because I like the feeling of this powder. And now it's time to make my skin a little bit darker because I look very pale. And what I'm going to try on today is from Guerlain. It's the Terracotta Blooming Bee. It is so beautiful that I don't want to try it. I don't want to mess it up, but I'm going to have to eventually. So if you haven't seen it before, it is a beautiful design of a bee. And I feel very bad that I have to, you know, ruin the design, but it has to be. So what I'm going to use today is my favorite brush to apply bronzer, and it's the Sonia G Pro. I love this brush. So bye bye bee. I'm sorry. I'm going to swipe it just a couple of times and then go in the it does have a fragrance. It smells really nice. Not too strong, but it's there. Like a powdery fragrance. It smells really good. And then I'm just gonna apply it in the normal places, but I think this time I'm gonna go almost all over the face because I look very pale. So what I do with bronzer, instead of applying, like, I don't contour, I just apply it like in most of the face, and to give me like a bronze look. And this bronzer is very light, but since this is the first time I use it, I am going very light-handed because I don't want to go overboard. Like I was saying earlier, it's easier to bring it up than bringing it down. So I'm just gonna go like that softly. It's a beautiful color. Here on the side of my nose as well, and in my forehead, and go back for the second side. Okay, I think it's very pretty. It gives me a really pretty bronzed look. And I think it has like a little bit of a shimmer, but now I'm not sure if that's the bronzer or the translucent powder. Now, what I want to use next is, I'm going to apply highlighter and blush after. I'm going to go right into the eyes. I'm going to be using today the new Guerlain, one of the new Guerlain quads is the Ombre G. And I got shade 940 Royal Jungle, but let me show you the packaging first. It's very pretty. I already took out the little, it doesn't stay open, which is, I like it that it stays open, but that's alright. I already got rid of the little applicators because I use them. And let me just show you, upside down, but let me show you what the quad looks like. It is gorgeous, very beautiful. It's more like for the fall. I think it's intended to be for the fall, but they came out with it before. So I'm gonna swipe in the back of my hand to show you what it looks like. I've seen that, well, at the moment that I'm filming this video, that I'm doing this video, I've seen that it goes on and in and out of stock. They did like a preview and then they came out with it, and then it was out of stock. But it should be coming back, and I'm gonna look for it. If I find the link, I'll put it down below. And this is what it looks like. I only got just a little bit, one swipe, and you see how smooth, how soft those shades are. Like, these are my favorite type of shades, these neutral shades but with a shimmer. Like that copper one is beautiful. They're all beautiful. And I think I'm gonna use all of them today, but that dark brown one, I think I'm gonna use it as like for the waterline, like to give me this smoky effect in the bottom of my waterline. I think that's what I'm gonna do with that shade. So what I'm gonna use today for the first time, I'm gonna be using my new brushes from Sydney Grace. Let me just show you one. I got all the new sets, the entire set, but this is one of them. I'm gonna be using this one later as highlighter, and I'm thinking of doing like a video talking about my brushes, or at least most of my brushes. So I'll talk more about these brushes in that video. But I just want to show you how one of them looks, and it has like this pointy end, which I don't know what its intention, but I think it's to make it look like it's a paintbrush maybe, I'm not sure, but it is very beautiful. And the fiber is really, really, really soft. For the eyes, I'm going to be using, not this brush, I'm going to be using these 4 brushes. I'm going to be using this fluffy brush. Well, these 2 are both fluffy, and I'm going to be using this in the waterline area, and this I'm probably going to use it for my inner corner. But I just wanted to show you how beautiful they are and how soft they are. Alright, so I'm going to pick up, this one is like the, probably going to pick up this one that is like the most fluffy one, the most open one. And I'm going to start with this brown one right here, which in my hand is this one. And I'm going to use that for the crease area. The brush is picking up very nicely, but let me see how it applies on the eye. There's no fallout, so let's start. I'm going to start here in the crease really softly. I think I picked up the darker one of the browns. That's alright. I'm going to apply this all over the crease. The brush is really soft, and it's applying the eyeshadows really well, and it blends really nicely. And the formula of these shadows are beautiful. As you can see, there's no patchiness, and I'm going really slow just to be sure there's no fallout. It is my first time using these shadows and these brushes, so I want to go softly and see how they work. But so far, they apply really nicely. Look at that, how pretty. And it was only like 1 application. How nicely it blended all over the lid. So I'm going to pick up now another brush, and I'm going to get this color right here, this gold beautiful color. And I'm going to apply that on the inner half of the eyelid. There's no fallout. I'm going to try it with a brush and then with a finger and see if there's any difference. Very pretty. Let me try with a finger. Yeah, with a finger it picks up more. That's usually the case. The finger usually picks up more product. That is so pretty. I'm going to go back with that first brush that I used and diffuse here a little bit the edges. It's gorgeous. Now I'm gonna get the tiny brush that I showed you, and I'm gonna go with this shade right here. I don't know how brightening it's gonna be, but we're gonna use it in the inner corner and a little bit on the brow bone on the top. Okay, it has a little bit of brightening, not a lot, and then some up here really softly. And then with the flat brush right here, I'm gonna get some of that darker brown and apply it as in the waterline area really softly, because it is a darker shade, just like that. Really pretty. I was thinking, I took this out and I'm gonna see how it looks. The Shantakai Lustre Glide Silk Infused Eyeliner in the shade Jasper. It's like, let me show you. It's like a nice, like, beautiful brown. I think it's gonna go really well. I'm gonna apply it on the eye here, right here. And it just gives you like an extra, or it gives me an extra pop. And it really brings out the green of my eyes. The olive hazel of my eyes. I think it's so pretty. I'm gonna now do the other eye off camera, and then I'm gonna come back to apply the rest. So I'm back now. I'm going to apply mascara. It's not a new mascara, but I haven't used it in a couple of weeks, and it's the Hourglass Unlocked Mascara. I like the way the wand looks, and it applies very nicely. So let's do that now. So I wanted to show you how it looks on one eye. Here's with, here's without, so you guys can see the difference. It is a gorgeous mascara. It really like extends my lashes, and it fans out my lashes, so it's really, really pretty. This mascara is a little bit on the wetter side, so I like to clean off just a little bit with my finger. So yeah, it's a little bit on the wet side, but once it dries, it's gorgeous. Now I want to move on really briefly. I want to do my eyebrows. I'm going to be using the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel in the shade Granite or Granite. I usually don't do my eyebrows, but I feel today I need just a little brushing, and a little of filling in. I do have to do my eyebrows. I haven't done them. Like, I need to plug my eyebrows, but we'll leave it as they are right now and just try to fill in a little bit the spaces that I have where it needs to be filled in, and just brush it just a little bit like that. All right, eyebrows are done, eyes are done. Now we're gonna move on really quickly to the blush and the highlight, and the last step will be the lips. I'm gonna be using today for blush. This is from Tom Ford, the Sheer Cheek Duo in the shade 02 Eclat Nude. I'm not gonna be using the bronzer because I already have bronzer on, but you know what, let me swipe it because maybe it's just a very light, I could use it as a blush. It is so light, so subtle. Here are the two shades. I might be using that shade, that more nude brown one, peachy one. I think I'm gonna use that as a blush today. So I'm gonna pick up my Sonia G Jumbo Base and pick up a little bit of the brown, and maybe I'm gonna mix them together. Let's see how that works. I'm gonna mix up together, give it a couple of swipes on both sides, and then go really slow. I need a bigger mirror for this. Go really slow. Oh yeah, really pretty. I like the idea of mixing them together. It gives me like this slight flush on the cheeks. Make sure to take it all the way back to your hairline. And the excess, just a little bit here of my nose and my forehead, just to add a little bit of color. It is really, really pretty. So the next is highlight, and for a highlight, what I'm going to use now, I don't think I need a brush. I've been using it for the last 3 or 4 times that I've worn makeup. Not for a video yet, but on makeup that I do for myself or everyday makeup. The Victoria Beckham, the new highlight, I got the shade Pearl. In case you haven't seen it, this is what it looks like. It looks like a lipstick bullet. And that highlight, I can't stop using it. It's wonderful. Let me swipe it on this hand. It's like a very subtle, like a wet look highlight. And I'm liking that. So I'm gonna go with my finger first, and then I'll try with a brush just to see how it works. I'll do it one side, just a finger, and the other half I'll do it with a brush. And once you start like twirling and mixing it, it gets, with the heat of your hand and all that, it gets very like emollient, so it's really nice. Without. The powder does have like a little bit of a shimmer, but you could definitely see the difference between one side and the other. It's a beautiful highlight, and like very subtle, you know, it's not like super out there that you're gonna stop traffic and cause an accident. Let me do it with a brush and see. Yeah, the brush is gonna dye it a little bit down, so I went back and picked up directly with the brush and do it softly right here. Yeah, with the finger it's like a little bit more wetter, so that's something to consider. If you don't like that wet look, you go with a brush and bring it down a little bit, but if you do like that wet look, then just leave it and don't touch it with a brush. I'm gonna leave it just like that. I think it's so pretty, and I have some on my finger, so I'm gonna apply here on the bridge of my nose and on my Cupid's bow. Really pretty. I'm loving this highlight very much. I think I might take it with me on my next vacation because I do travel carry-on, and this is definitely could be taken on carry-on. So my last step is lipstick, and I've been wanting to use this lipstick for a while. I haven't used it yet. I've been waiting it to do it with you guys for the first time, and it's the lipstick I got from Jimmy Choo, and it's a beautiful, beautiful lipstick. The way it looks and the color is gorgeous as well. Let me show you the packaging. Yeah, this way, Jimmy Choo. And it is kind of hard to store it, and it's kind of big to have on your purse, but it's alright because it's just aesthetically is beautiful. And here's the color that I chose. It is shade Coral Kiss. Look at that, how pretty. Let me take it all out so you guys can see it. Look how pretty that bullet is. And then it has the JC initials on the top. I'm gonna swatch it right here next to the highlight. Ooh, it is so creamy. This is one swipe. And look how creamy that looks, how buttery. And I think it looks, it's like a semi-matte. It's a gorgeous color. It is so pretty and it feels so nice. It's a little bit bold for today because my eyes are kind of bold as well, but I just wanted to, I couldn't hold it anymore. I had to try this lipstick and I'm glad that I did. It is so pretty. I think I've used everything that I wanted to use for today, so I'm gonna give you a rundown of my final thoughts of what I think of this look. The foundation stick, well, the primer, I really liked it. It left me a really soft feeling on the skin, and I think it does a good job of priming. The foundation stick, it was not my shade at all, but I was able to work with it and it was not drying at all. My experience in the past with foundation sticks is that it's usually drying, but it wasn't the case. The concealer, I will like it in a different shade. I got a more brightening shade, like a lighter shade for me, but it does a good job of covering and it doesn't crease up or anything like that. So putting aside that the shades are not the best for me, the foundation stick and the concealer were really good. And the powder, and I've used it before, the Laura Mercier, I know that's a very good powder. And the eyeshadows are gorgeous. They worked very well. They blended well together. No fallout, and no fallout whatsoever, neither on the pan or on my face. They worked really nice together. The eyeliner from Shantakai, I also like. I think it gives you an extra pop of, you know, it gives you an extra some in your eyes, and it brings out the brown and the greens of my eyes. The mascara, I've used it before many times. I love it. It's one of my favorite because it really fans out my lashes and give me a really nice extension. The blush, the mix of the two colors, I think it was perfect. The highlight, I know that I love because I can't stop using it. It's beautiful, and the lipstick is just a gorgeous color and it feels so nice. It feels really, really buttery, really moisturizing. I love the color. And the colors, like my favorite. My favorite shades are the red oranges, or like they're really soft nude that you almost can't see them. Or I go all the way to the other side of the spectrum, and those bright red oranges, those are my favorite. I love it. Oh, and the brow gel, I also enjoy. I've used it before many times, and it does what it needs to do. So everything I used today, I love. There's no disappointments, and I'm happy to say that. And the brushes, oh, the bronzer from Guerlain, it's a beautiful color as well. Like everything I've used today, I love. And the brushes, the new brushes from Sydney Grace are just gorgeous. They're beautiful to look at, and they're beautiful to use too. Perfect. Everything that I've used today, I love, and I'm very happy that I was able to share that with you. Now it's your turn. Let me know down below what you think of this look, of the products that I picked. If you've used any of these products, please let me know your thoughts down below. I love to hear from you guys. As always, I'm gonna leave links of everything that I've used and mentioned. I'm gonna leave them down below in the description box for you. I want to thank you guys for coming over. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you next time. Bye.